Zarna, Zarna, Zarna. Hello, YouTubers. I've just invoked the name of Zarna Joshi. I am often surprised at her silliness. So today, let's explore her Facebook, specifically a comment she made a little while back about Google. Yes, all men, especially nerdy tech men. Nerds hate women. Okay, Zarna, you made this comment January 9th. I know, I'm a little late. It's January 16th that I'm commenting back on it. Zarna, this is typical for you. Very typical. So, we have this Zarna Joshi, and she is an American who she does these YouTube videos where she acts like she's non-violent, but in fact, oh, my thing is slipping. But in fact, she's not non-violent at all. She gets very aggressive in a lot of her demonstrations, and even at the top of her page here, I'll just bring you right to the top. You see a woman holding two whips, who again, the fact that you could even say that this is not your Facebook page, but that is the picture of you. There's two pictures of you here, right? There's a picture there, a picture there. These are definitely pictures of you, and you're definitely holding leather whips, and you're definitely you've definitely expressed yourself as a vegan in the past. Any case, that's our introduction. The reason I'm talking is you said every last tech guy hates women. And I thought, well, why don't we check out something called the herbivore men in Japan. The website we just went to is Wikipedia, herbivore men. It's in Japan. Oh, we're going to move this just over slightly so we can get the whole thing over in there. Indifference of men to marriage and commitment to relationship in observable trends in many advanced societies. All right. So they're not being hated. It's indifference. It's you don't matter. So there's two names we use to describe these people: Frieders and Nets. I'm going to go over this quickly because I don't want this to be a long video. So let's just have a look what Wikipedia says about Nets. Neets is not educated, employed, or in training. It's first used in the United Kingdom. It's so far moved over to Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and the United States. And it's describing a lot of people in Japan. We'll even go down because we have just enough time to go down here. Okay, so we just went past Japan. You saw that. So in Japan, NEETs is a distinct social policy category from that of a Frieder classification for those working low wages part-time jobs. Okay, so it's been rising from 480,000 in September 2002 to 520. So this is a growing group. And this is also important here. While the servers of Japan government they have 850,000 classified as NEETs, of which 60% of the people were between 25 and 34. It is therefore clear that the number of NEETs produced by statistics depends greatly on the specific Definition adopted. Yeah. What we can see, though, is that they are middle class, and they very often they're male, and they are not working. They're not producing heavily in society, in the job market. Frieders, on the other hand, is a Japanese expression for people who lack full-time employment or are underemployed, excluding housewives and students. Okay, I'm going to go on to some other stuff. You can look those up on your own. So, let's see if we can pull this over. I am going to, it's called skepticplayblogspot.ca. Men are beginning to recognize their appalling vulnerability when it comes to dealing with the opposite sex. And they are individually waking up to the ridiculous risks they face. Almost 70% of divorce are now initiated by women, and it's typically the man who stands to lose everything. His children, his home, his future income, his reputation. And suicide is a huge risk. Okay. So now you can see why men are ignoring women. This is a big, big reason. Let's see if we can get this to download quickly. The Daily Beast. So while it's down, oh, there it is. Masculine mystique inside the men's right men's right movement. So the men's right movement is gaining traction. Oh, it's still downloading, so it's going to do its crazy stuff. Oh, my word. You're going to do that to me. This summer, two competing Canadian rape awareness campaigns began popping up posters across Edmonton and Vancouver. The first, entitled "Don't Be That Guy," warned that young men having sex with women who are inebriated it's considered lawful rape. Now, obviously, it occurs to me if this is all up to the judgment of the courts. And so the men's rights movement came up with a campaign. And, oh, my computer. They came up with "Don't Be That Girl." Yeah, and the girl wants consensual sex and lies about later saying she's been raped. I think it's legitimate. And you see, Zarna, I don't think, when I look at the tech industry, I think that they're one up on this. And they have followed through this whole series of events where if you do anything decent to them, it all falls apart. And I'm just going to go to another website. I think, Zarna, you are unbalanced. So, oh, I got something in the background there, eh? I'm just going to readjust things just a little bit. Going web page to web page is difficult. Let's just move this right to the top. Oh, man. So now we're on the Globe and Mail. The public has become all too aware of the term bubble to describe an asset. This is an irrational and artificial overvalue. It cannot be sustained. Is it possible that higher education might be the next bubble to burst? Why is this on here? Now I gotta think this again. Rethinking herbivore men on the prowl. Yes. So part of this whole, these herbivore men exiting the system quickly has to do with this craziness. They can go to school, they can do all this commitment, but in the end, you don't get to keep the money anyways. You end up with lots of debt, and some woman's going to take it from you. So, they are young, they earn little, spend little, and take a keen interest in fashion and personal appearance. Meet the herbivore men of Japan. In Japan, sex is translated as relationship in the flesh. So I named those boys herbivore boys since they are not interested in the flesh. Typically, herbivore men are in their 20s and 30s and have relationships and friends without sex. And they can exist between men and women. So you're starting to get, this is the trend of Japan that's moving this way. So it's even moved to the perfume industry, and men want to smell, have a sportier sense, a more outdoor scent. Anyways, my point is, with Zarna, do you get that you're not just being, I'll put this back on full screen. Zarna, do you get, you aren't being discriminated against. You're being ignored. And, okay, so I'm doing a response video to you. I'm doing a response video to the fact that you went after Toon. I think it's a crappy thing to do, right? You knew that you're asking for debate. You know you want your voice to be heard, and you're in a debate atmosphere. He's not bullying you. And I can clearly show you, when you make these statements, you're wrong in the statements. So now we have to decide how wrong you are, correct? Because your statement over here, let's see if we have it. Oh, I have to bring myself down. Your statement here was quite radical. See if we can find it quickly. Oop, we went past it. Let's see if we can get down there. Your statement here. Yep, all men. Yep. You can't even spell. So anyways, it's yep, not yep. Yep, all men, especially nerdy tech men. Nerds hate women. So it's part of bullying, right? That's all you're doing. I don't see you moving forward at all. I don't see you as somebody talking conversation. I see you as doing hate. So I don't think you have a spot